Welcome back to the WMMA Today podcast with Drake Riggs and me, Steve. We are on the 7th episode of the WMMA Today podcast. On this show, we will be talking about the UFC Fight Island recap from last week. Two fights.
Two cards,
Or two cards, yeah. We have two cards with two fights on them. And then we have fight news. As always, we have fight news. And then we have the UFC Fight Island 3 preview with two fights. One on the main card, a 17 or a 15 fight main card coming up.
Big one overall.
It's the last Fight Island card for now. They're going big, I guess.
Yeah, got to get everybody fighting before the little break.
Yep.
But as for the action we just saw,
the recap. Taylor Santos versus Molly McCann. Santos ended up beating Molly McCann in what we see as an upset because we both picked Molly McCann to win that fight.
Yeah, that was absolutely a very large, surprising upset. Santos came in about as good as she possibly could have. Yeah, just shocked really everybody. And I saw you put it out there, a tweet about like nobody picked Santos to win. And like if you did, you're lying. Especially if you said it would be that dominant. Very surprising, and surprisingly as well, the numbers are a little bit closer than I would have thought. I mean, I guess in the striking, it wasn't like a complete domination, but Molly was clearly getting outbeaten there, and then the takedowns were a huge factor in each round. Santos just had really great control in all grappling exchanges, and that length and size just really was much more of a problem than expected. But yeah, a huge win, just in a fight matchmaking wise that I hated, which makes I look like the biggest moron now. But that's what the sport. Why the sport is so great when you see things like this, the unpredictable ending up happening. Expect the unexpected, right? So Taylor Santos, still has the most padded record that you'll ever see, but she is obviously still talented, and able to beat somebody who shouldn't have, been getting that fight. Was on a win streak, should have been ranked a little bit higher. Really catapults herself up there now with just a clean victory, and makes flyweight even more interesting if she can continue to perform that way against more fighters. That's just all the better.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I was not expecting that. I mean, like I said in that tweet, like nobody was expecting that fight, the fight to end that way, to be that way. It was basically the whole fight. I mean, a judge 30-26. You can see it on the bottom there. One of the judges had that fight at 30-26. That's a pretty dominant fight for Santos. I just didn't see it. I just didn't see it going that way. I was pretty fucking shocked. But again, that's why we watch these fights. Anything can happen in any fight.
Yeah, and it definitely did. I mean, it definitely did. She just was really too much everywhere. And I mean, I don't know. She just had Molly's number really, and I think the length just really was a problem. Like she just had really good distance control.
That's 100% what it was. She was using her length and grabbing Molly using her Muay Thai.
Mm-hmm.
Her Muay Thai was beautiful. Her clinch game was phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, just that
McCann had nothing for her once she got a hold of her.
Yeah, it was like a matter of time kind of thing. Like, oh man, she's gonna take her down again, isn't she? you know. But yeah, very good win. Obviously, big bummer for Molly though, who like we said, probably not the matchmaking that was logical going in, like at the time and everything. Snaps her winning streak, has to start over again. But hey, there was a reason that this all happened, right? So it'll be interesting to see where she goes, rebounds from here, and who they want to give Santos next. I mean, I think like an Antonina fight would be pretty cool,
That would be fun, just because of the
stylistically.
Muay Thai, yeah.
So
But
options.
so Molly McCann is still ranked number 15. She didn't go up, she didn't go down after that loss.
It's Santos. So
Santos
Santos not ranked, or is she?
is no longer ranked, even though she beat Molly McCann.
Are they updated?
Yeah.
These are updated rankings, or
Are they? I mean, they should be. They get updated every Tuesday.
there is no way that you can have Santos not above Molly now.
So did they not? They just didn't update these rankings yet.
I mean,
Fuckers.
I would hope that that's the case, but yeah, usually
Those
they
bastards
should be.
can't even go off the rankings this time.
Jeez, no one to trust. You can never trust anyone as is. but
Can't trust the UFC rankings either. So does it even
yeah,
fucking matter?
yep.
Just a number next to their names, unfortunately.
Hmm. But man, flyweight though, dude, it was. I mean, we talked about it being a flyweight showcase going in here, but man, overall, all three fights had something crazy about them. Like this one was also unexpected.
Here we go. The train's coming.
Oh yeah.
As soon as we start. Okay, so Liana Jojua beat Diana Valbita by such a great armbar. It was phenomenal. We also, you and I also picked Valbita. We didn't have Jojua winning that fight. Should have known. I mean, because Jojua's ground game is so good. It's just so good.
I mean, it, everybody was judging off of the Morris fight, which is totally
You know,
acceptable, I think, and totally fair to have done that. And
I mean, I guess, but to be honest, if we looked at her prior record, her prior wins and stuff, she's really good on the ground. In retrospect, I should have known.
I mean that's the case, right? When you do look back at everything, but then when you see how bad she was, though, especially on the ground, and just how bad that fight was after, it kind of like, oh wow, was it a competition type thing? Like. But then I guess you drop back down to like someone who Belbita, who's similar, closer experience than who Morris has fought and her
Yeah.
time in the sport and everything. But Belbita still had better experience. We agreed going into this. But the big issue that happened here for her was why'd she follow to the ground? She was doing fine on the feet in the minimal time that there was before that.
Yeah.
Just kind of a lack of fight IQ to keep it in the area you're doing your best in at the moment. And it was playing out on the feet exactly how we, imagined it would, where she was putting on the pressure, and Jojo was shown not to be too great when somebody's, being aggressive in her face like that. And that's how it looked. And then they went to the ground and Belbita got straight up caught, and Jojo just did not give up on the armbar attack. Like she got out of like an initial attempt from what I'm remembering, and she just stuck to it and ended up tweaking at the right angle, and ooh, looked painful.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet.
Verbal tap.
Yeah, it was pretty nasty. She was cranking down on that arm, dude. Like it looked like it was gonna break. At some, if
Yeah.
she would have kept going. at some point. She was cranking down on it.
Yeah, it was definitely a solid armbar, and the way that she stuck to it, like I said, good win for her, and a flyweight debut too. So
Yeah,
just keeps on getting better. Still though has some stuff to work on, I would say, but
yeah.
obviously a great win. Obviously,
She's
still
young.
very young.
She's
Yeah,
young. Yeah.
I mean
What?
they both are.
Yeah. Yep.
So I think both 25, right, or at least
I
around
think
that.
so. Yeah.
So yeah, Belbita, she's not getting cut yet, and give her another fight.
No.
Um, yeah, good win. Very good
And
win.
Joshua, I mean, she's gonna have to fight somebody not ranked again. She's not. She's not ready.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
So
But
who's
she's still
here?
young. Moni's here.
Moni's here. Party time.
Hey.
Hey girl, hey. So yeah. Yeah, no, they definitely cannot, don't even think about giving her a ranked opponent yet. That would be absolutely silly. And I don't think they will.
Nah.
But you fucking never know.
Yeah. I
But
mean, who knows what they're gonna do? I mean, they like to throw people to the wolves at sometimes, you know.
yeah, no doubt about that.
And she's marketable. She was speaking English. You know, she was even though it was not perfect,
He's working
but
on it.
props to her for even trying and not using the interpreter.
Yeah, John Anik, he's like, we got one. You need it.
Mhm.
You need him.
Yeah. Props to her though for not going with their interpreter.
Yeah, Strugglesville on national television. So
Yeah, but I mean, it makes her look like she's willing to try, you know.
hmm
Um,
yeah,
and I think people will like latch on to that because it's like a good story. Not only did she win, but she also came in and tried to made the attempt to speak English.
hmm
You know, unlike like Jose Aldo, who's been a champion forever, and he's not he
doesn't give a
does,
fuck.
does not want to even try. And I mean, not that there's anything wrong with it
Yeah,
at
he
all.
can do what he wants.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with non-English speaking people. I mean, it's just that it's really nice seeing people. You know, Zhang Weili is the same. She's learning how to speak English. I think it's they they know that it will be better for them.
Yes, definitely agree with that. Um, some technical difficulties here. Yeah, I totally agree with you. It's always good to be able to expand your horizon of
Mhm.
marketability or ability to be promoted, whatever. So,
Right.
and especially somebody who's so young and still learning, she'll get the language down in time. I ain't too
Yeah, I
worried
mean,
about
watch
that.
by the next time we see her fight and win, she'll be speaking a lot better. Amanda Ribas is another one.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
look at her. She is fucking shining now. People love her.
and her English is it's there's only like a couple phrases that it seems like she'll have trouble with every now and then, but
She's fine.
yeah, definitely
Yeah.
growing star power for her. But
So
man,
what I was trying to get at is it really makes a difference for the fighter.
in terms of like their fan base and everything.
Right. You can go kind of worldwide with it rather than, just stick with Brazil or whatever. Just imagine if Jose Aldo learned how to speak English and he was able to speak to us English speakers. We love him because he's fucking amazing because of his leg kicks and shit. But as far as like worldwide thing, I don't think he was a worldwide star.
It's funny you mentioned that because I was actually thinking about this like last week for some reason. I think it was because it popped up some clip on Twitter, but I was thinking like, man, imagine if Aldo knew English during
Yeah.
the build up to the Connor
To
fight.
McGregor. Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
holy shit.
Just imagine how big it would have been. I mean, although
Already huge, but
although
whoa.
he did get knocked out within seconds, I mean, but but the build up to that fight would have been fucking amazing.
An even higher level than it already was
Yeah,
instead of having to go through the translator.
right. Yep.
But man, speaking of badass Brazilians, segue.
Yes.
Oh boy.
Fight Island 2 recap. Ariane Lipsky beat Luana Carolina by the second knee bar of the year. Remember, Mackenzie Dern got hers last month. And then now Lipsky, as you can see on the screen, put that knee bar on to Carolina, and she was in dire pain. She wanted her life to end at that point.
Dude, well said. That picture though is probably one of my favorite shots in like it obviously it's very fresh, but man, what a great fucking picture that is.
Yeah.
Just like
This is
the
the violence
faces.
queen. This is the violence queen. This is what we wanted from the violence queen, right?
Violence
We fucking
provided.
got the violence. We called for it. We got it.
Just nastiness. Yeah, I know. We expected it in the form of strikes, as we generally do with Lipsky.
Right.
But people do forget that she does have some submission, wins on her record. Like
Yeah.
speaking about Belbita, I was mixing up the first name there. Lipsky versus Belbita. I think that was, I don't know if that was for the first fight for the KSW championship, but it was one of Lipsky's title fights, right? And she actually finished her with an armbar. Lipsky finished Belbita with an armbar
Right.
in that one. It was after knocking her down, I believe, but still had the grappling in that fight. But yeah, we forget that she has submissions, and this one particularly is amazing just because it was in defense of a calf slicer. Like what a fantastic way to defend that. When she was pretty stuck in there. As you can see in the picture, you can tell that it is applied. She's in a calf slicer right there without it being
Right.
cranked back, unless I'm seeing the angle wrong here, but it looks still solid from that position. Yeah. Hey, you got a leg too? Okay, I'll fucking yank that thing backwards.
Leaning back, she's like, you know what? Fuck you. I'm gonna end your whole entire life. I'm gonna put you in a wheelchair for the rest of your life. You're gonna be a vegetable.
That's a bit extreme, but I like the enthusiasm.
Well, this is the violence queen that
Right.
I mean,
These are her thoughts.
yeah, that's exactly what's going through her mind. Like, fuck you. You want to get me in a calf slicer? Fuck you. I'm gonna knee bar your ass.
Amazing. Amazing. Yeah, and I think it was only a torn MCL. I mean, she did suffer some damage, I believe. Carolina did, which that's a bummer. But as you can see from that angle, not surprising. Not surprising. Could have been a lot worse, actually. I mean, I don't know. Everyone thinks of the ACL as like the worst one, and I'm not a super knee expert or anything. But could have been a lot worse compared to some instances.
I don't know.
Yeah,
looking at that picture, it looks pretty fucking bad for her.
I mean, that's how, yeah, it's bad, no doubt about that. But in terms of lasting damage, but yeah, great win for Lipsky. Now she's on a 2-fight winning streak in the UFC. Awesome to see. First finish did not come as we expected it to. We thought she would get it done with her strikes. Unfortunately, didn't get to see that, but I mean, this is made up for it pretty good. Only a minute 28 of action, took no damage whatsoever. So hopefully she can get back out there, soon enough again. And hey, who knows? Maybe they'll match her with Santos. Interesting proposition.
It would be a fun fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a fun fight, actually. Did you see Lauren Murphy,
Wants to fight Calvillo?
Calvillo, and
Yep.
or the winner of JoJo and who who she's fighting,
Oh, you mean Jennifer Maya?
which
This new
is
fight that is happening. Fight news. Segue.
um. So JoJo Calderwood is stepping in for Viviane Araújo. Did they say why she's out?
Tested positive.
Oh, okay. See, I did not see why she was
Mm.
out. I just saw that. JoJo Calderwood was in fighting Jennifer Maya, and I was, okay. I was shocked. I was shocked by it
Hmm.
because she was supposed to fight Valentina Shevchenko. Um, this is a very short notice fight. B, I don't know if this is a good idea for Calderwood. Maya's a beast, dude.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we've always been pretty high on Maya, as we should have been. Former number one flyweight in the world, all that. Former Invicta champion, been one of the best flyweights that there has been. And real quickly, I do agree with you, Moni. I'd rather have a broken wrist than any knee ligament problems.
It's
I agree
true.
with that.
Well, she's saying that because she has a broken wrist.
Right,
Or
right, right.
had a broken wrist.
Had one, yeah. Um, but yeah, yeah, Jennifer Maya, obviously a tough opponent, and yeah, mixed feelings about this one because, you know, love watching JoJo fight. She had a title shot though. This is a risky fight for her.
Super
Um,
risky, bro.
yeah, and it sucks also for Vivian Araujo. I like that matchup. I mean,
Yeah.
we don't know, when it first was announced, the matchmaking, I was kind of like, but I was like, I can get past it because I like to see the respect that
Yeah.
they're. I mean, the chance they're giving Araujo after, she really kind of climbed up there reasonably, I would say. And has been a really fun fighter so far. And then, Jennifer Maya, who I don't remember what her last fight was, but, was having weight issues and sounded like she was going to go up to bantamweight, but still sticking with flyweight. If she can knock off JoJo here, then it's like, does she steal her title shot? I mean, it's like,
Dude,
it's interesting. It
I
makes
just
things
don't
way more
see
interesting.
I just don't see like why Calderwood other than that knowing that Valentina is going to be out for longer than
Mm-hmm.
we all know.
Yeah.
Maybe she just wants to stay active, but it's just a tough matchup for her. Jennifer Maya is a beast.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that her knowing, the situation with JoJo too, that'll give her a little extra motivation boost too.
Yeah.
But yeah, stylistically, man, this is gonna be crazy in the clinch, with their Muay Thai skill sets, and it makes me. I kind of wish that this had 5 rounds. Like, obviously, there's no way that they would do that. But if you think about like, if this was like a Maya title defense, like, man, that would be awesome to have, those extra rounds, which could potentially be needed after a 3-round war.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah,
And it's
dude,
in the 25-foot cage. It's at the apex.
oh
Dude, dude,
yeah,
there's gonna be a lot of clinch work in this fight. It's gonna be
that's
awesome.
interesting. Interesting that it's at the Apex because
It's gonna be
Maya,
awesome.
Brazil. Interesting how that's been happening with some of the fighters and putting them in certain areas now. Um,
Well, Maya must be training in the United States or something,
yeah,
or otherwise, and just traveling to Las Vegas.
yeah, Araja must have been doing the same thing. I don't know.
Yeah, because
Don't know. Either way,
Calderwood is in Las Vegas.
yep, yep. Syndicate. So, but yeah, very, very compelling matchup in turn of events. Really, um, I'm excited for it. It really gives you a lot to think about. That's for sure. I think that the situation with Valentina though could be what you said. I mean, why take this if unless you know that like okay maybe she's gonna need longer recovery time than what we know.
Yeah,
I mean, I
I
mean,
mean,
what
we
was the
see
last
all
time
we
she did
see from
fight?
Valentina is her traveling the West Coast. She's not. She's not training. She's not in Thailand right now. You know, she's not training for this fight at all. So maybe her knee is worse off than what we know, and maybe Calderwood knows that. I don't know. We don't know. I wish that they would tell us shit like this. So that, I mean, instead of having a, a, a shit ton of speculation, what's wrong with Valentina? You know,
Well,
why is she all over the West Coast and not training? You know,
I bet that somebody will ask Dana or somebody at this next event. Unless he, I don't know, he might have flown out already. I remember him saying something about leaving
he's
after
not staying
the last event.
for this amazing card coming up this weekend.
I feel like I might have heard something like that, which is crazy if
Dude,
he
there's no
misses
way
this
that
one.
he's missing Whitaker and Till.
Yeah, yeah. So let's assume that we will. Somebody will definitely ask about the Valentina situation.
Fuck me, fly me out there. I'll take Dana's place.
Yes,
I want to
yes,
see.
well,
I want to see Shogun live again. For fuck's sake, my God, he's gonna put it on Nogueira.
Gustafsson at heavyweight.
Oh my God, Fatty Gustafsson. Woo!
Uh, and then the fights that we will get to, and the one that you're very excited for as well.
Yes, Carla.
So yeah, that was surprising bit of news that came out. Was that yesterday or was that today? That
Ah,
was
I think it
yesterday.
was
Yep,
yesterday. Yeah,
yesterday. But
yeah,
anyway, this one also surprised me. What did you think about this next piece of news?
yeah. I mean, I think it's a good fight though. Mallory Martin and Hannah Cyphers will fight at the UFC Apex again on later on in August the 29th. That's a really good fight. That's entertaining. I think it's going to be really entertaining. Cyphers is just down, isn't she?
I guess so, man.
I mean,
And
it's
this
just a
is
really tough matchup for her, but she's down to fight.
it is absolute make or break for her though. 3 fight losing streak.
Yeah,
We thought that, and bad losses too. We thought she would be done after that one against Agapova. And I
yeah,
mean, can you blame us? And it's been unfortunate too for Cyphers, because I think that she's a little bit better than people have been giving her credit for. It's just been the matchups have been just terrible for her. Like
terrible.
UFC is not doing her any favors. Like she's a solid fighter for what she's got to work with, and being undersized and definitely capable of making atom weight, and probably would do her best there, which is where I would like to see her. You know, UFC, let her go, man. I would prefer that if you let her go to Invicta and or Ryzen, somewhere where she can fight the atom weights. That would be
Yeah,
really cool because man, she's already strong as fuck at strawweight. Imagine her being she'd be one of the strongest atom weights like immediately, which instantly makes for some compelling matchups because of the skill set that she has. Obviously, yeah, has to work on some submission defense and whatnot, but yeah, matchup with Mallory Martin. We know what Mallory Martin likes to do. She's gonna try to get this to the ground. She's gonna have the size advantage.
she's gonna be a lot bigger.
It's yeah. Mallory's fought at flyweight before. She's had weight issues, I think, at flyweight before, but maybe not. Just in the past, she's bigger. Let's put it that way. She's obviously the bigger one.
Yeah,
But even stylistically, I think that it plays into her favor. Just a fucking gritty, nasty in your face. We've seen those ground and pound, the screaming ground and pound shots that she'll put on people.
yeah.
Um,
She's
just
a beast.
nasty in there. But on the feet, though, striking wise, I think that Hannah should be able to have some pretty good success unless Mallory's, really sharpened up her boxing skills, which, not that they were bad, but obviously a weaker point of her game. But still, I think it's going to be tough for Cyphers. But she needs this if she wants to stay. I would have. How can you keep her if she loses this one? That just doesn't seem
Well,
right. I mean,
it's what we've talked about through this whole
Yep, I know where you're going.
This whole COVID thing is, I mean, she's taking fights, and win or lose, she's taking fights.
Yep.
And that's what the UFC wants, is people that will fight. I mean, look at who's fighting this week. Shit. He fought last weekend, and now he's fighting
Oh, Hamza
Saturday.
Chimev.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Bozer is fighting as well. Like, this is what the UFC is looking for. People who will fight, who will step in and fight during this time where not everybody can or is willing to fight. Cyphers is one of those people. I think this is her third fight during this whole COVID thing. It's for sure her second one. I'm pretty sure that it's her third.
The Dern one, I think, was on the last card before the break, the Gilbert and Woodley one.
Okay.
I think that was when the Dern. So that was the first no crowd one. So you might be right there, which is pretty crazy, actually.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Kabig. You're right, Moni. Smash.
is that what we're calling him?
Big time smash. That dude smashes.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that again. Poor Reese McKee.
Oh,
He got getting his shot.
that dude's gonna die.
Getting his shot though. But yeah, it'll be interesting, you know. I mean, that's all I can say. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I mean, she's taking fights. Like, Dana's probably loving her right now. You know, UFC matchmakers are calling her, and she's like, "Fuck yeah, put me on the card." She's a company woman, I guess.
I mean, you gotta be in these times, I guess, especially in that position.
Yeah.
Why not? I mean, it makes you wonder if she's throwing her name in the hat every time, or if they're coming to her, or if it's been like balanced. I don't know. I do not know, because I mean, this is a fresh matchup, so
yeah, it is. Who knows what is going on, like, as far as matchmaking, until we get answers from the fighters themselves or whatever. You know, they can actually tell us what has happened during this whole time. We don't know. I mean, we don't know what's going on as far as matchmaking.
mm-hmm. Specifics and the details and everything.
Yeah, but good for her though.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one, I was like, oh, I was really interested by it. It's a Bantamweight Fight, Macy Chiasson versus Shazara Eubanks, September 5th. Assuming it's probably at the Apex. They're both here in America. So that'll be actually a really fun fight at the Apex, seeing that it's a 25-foot cage. You would assume that one of them is getting knocked out, right?
Yeah, unless Sajara can get Macy down, which, I mean, she's got the credentials to do so, but this is another kind of size factor thing here. You know, looking at the last matchup, you know, Macy's obviously the bigger woman here.
Yeah.
But then the advantages are very obvious. You know, I think you weigh, obviously, the striking and the power is going to be in favor of Macy, even though I think Sajara's boxing has started looking very good in recent fights.
Yeah.
And she's been able to hold her own.
Yeah.
And then on the ground, obviously, she's going to have the advantage there. Just a matter of getting it there. And I think that Macy, you know, for the most part, has shown pretty good, you know, takedown defense and grappling defense. Just, you know, had that hiccup against Landsberg, which was that her last fight? I'm having trouble remembering. But, you know, got controlled decently in that one, which, you know, led to the loss. If Sajara can do that, then, you know, she'll be able to could even get a submission. But again, Sajara is smaller than Lena Landsberg as well. So I think size will kind of be the biggest factor here, all things considered. And every fight starts on the feet, so Macy's instantly going to have, you know, a good advantage. And she just has the length as well as the size. I mean,
Yeah.
I like the matchup though. I think it's pretty solid matchmaking.
I like it a lot. I
In
think it's
terms
going to
of
be a
where they
fun
are.
fight. I think it's going to be a firefight.
Yeah, and apparently some slight bad blood. Apparently, calling out each other, and then some others not accepting type of stuff. At least from what I was seeing on Twitter and whatnot.
Yeah.
But happening now. So, and I think that the reason this one is TBD is because it might be a pay-per-view, maybe, but I'm not sure about that.
Well, makes sense.
I have to look.
UFC
Yeah,
232. What UFC
53.
would it be? Yeah,
53, I think, because
53.
52, yeah,
53.
52 will be next month. DC and Stipe.
Right. So September would be
Yeah, that's
253.
got to be what it is then, most likely.
Yeah.
Yeah, when the Adesanya and Costa one, right? Even though
Yeah.
that was supposed to be Fight Island, Dana said. I don't know, a little bit confusing.
Yeah. I mean, who knows
A
what
little bit
the UFC
confusing.
is going to do? But you would assume that they would be in Vegas because they're going to start with Contender Series as well.
Yeah.
And Dana does not miss Contender Series. That's literally his show.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, his name is in the title.
Yeah.
So,
But I think this is a fun matchup. I think that Macy. Oh man, you and I have really been high on Macy though since even the tough series this tough year.
I had her to win it all.
Yeah, you did. You
Hmm.
did.
So, yeah, it's exciting. It's an exciting one. And two could have been tough final winners. But Sajara obviously had the weight issue with that one.
Yeah.
But they both were on tough.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm good with that one. Good with that
Fun
one.
fight.
Definitely.
Okay, so a matchup that we were supposed to see last week at Submission Underground 16 will be taking place on the 30th at Submission Underground 17. Amanda Lowen returns, the face of Submission Underground's women's division. Will be taking on Jillian Robertson. They were originally supposed to face off last card, but Robertson was pulled out because of why?
Some people around her had COVID related
Yeah,
issues, something like that, I believe.
yeah,
Just safety precautions, essentially.
right.
Um, but no, there was nothing ever came out about her testing positive. I don't
Yeah,
think so.
no. Otherwise, she wouldn't be taking this match. I wouldn't think. Although it is in August 30th at the end
Yes,
of August, it's a
plenty
whole
of
month.
time. So
Yeah,
maybe. Don't know. But yeah, not we've already talked about this one a good amount, so I don't know if I have too much to add, but interesting that just while we have the card pulled up there that from so far, I mean, that Martinez and Premise matchup though.
it's gonna be fun,
That's been
and it's really great that Martinez wants to fight MMA fighters. Um,
yeah.
I mean, he's gonna be the better grappler. He's
Premise
so
very underrated
he's
though.
so good. Yeah, that's true. Premise is very underrated, but Richie Martinez, Boogeyman, is
Hmm.
so damn good though, and his brother is amazing. Um, I love that Richie Martinez is taking these bouts against MMA fighters.
Yeah, I know he's been kind of the star of the quarantine in terms of, the guy facing the MMA fighters, I guess you could say. I mean,
Yeah.
but he took on Shields right before that. I was at that one, and then he had Vanderford,
Yep.
and then I don't remember who he went against after that,
On the
but
last card,
wasn't Checo, I don't think.
no, he's
But yeah, either way, what a great beard.
he's bad.
And yeah, yeah. as for Lowen and Robertson, though, always happy to see Lowen, and as we all should be. And I'm fine with them rebooking it just because they booked it in the first place. Whatever, let's get it out of the way. We know. Let's move on to whatever comes next.
Well, and then Jones and Fowler 3.
Yes, 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 yes. That will be
Fun,
something. That will be
exciting.
something to see.
They're going
It's
to talk.
different.
You're going to talk. They're going to talk shit. Craig Jones is probably not happy right now. He's probably working his ass off, trying to figure out what the fuck happened. Yeah, so weird seeing Fowler with the belt. It's true. It is very. When I saw that yesterday, that visual, I was like, that's so awkward seeing Fowler with the belt and Jones just with his arms crossed, like he's pissed off. He's not happy in that picture.
Why are weird things always we at least lately in Craig Jones's matches, like the Vinny one, again, then the last one with the verbal grunting. I don't want to say tapping, but noise making. Just lately, these Craig Jones matches always had a little bit of something. Oh, and then there was the tag team match where he didn't even get to
He didn't even
participate.
go. Yeah.
Dude, that was
Weren't you
I
there?
was there for that. I was there for that one. It was so upsetting. It was such a bummer, dude.
I mean,
Everyone was so
honestly,
mad.
if I had went and I bought a ticket to that event, I would have been pissed that I wasn't able to see Craig Jones.
Yeah, didn't get to do anything. That was ridiculous. Oh, and
Crazy.
I was running off like an hour or two of sleep, so I was like, "This is not what I need right now." But hey, we ended up getting to see Vinny's foot twisted backwards in the end, which
Yeah.
was absolutely disgusting.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the news for the week.
Okay, so now it's going to be the UFC Fight Island 3 preview. Um, Starting off with a bantamweight fight between Penny Kianzad and Betch Correa. Um, this is on the undercard of a 15 fight card. I think it's like not exactly at the bottom, not the very first card or the very first fight we're going to see, but pretty close. Maybe third
Let's
one.
see. I think you're right. Let me scroll here. Yep. Third fight.
Third fight in. Um, Kianzad is looking pretty damn good. Correa is still ranked, unfortunately.
Ooh, sizzle.
Well, I mean, come on. We've
We talked
already
about this when the matchup was made.
we've kind of already established like my feelings about her being ranked. I just don't think that she should be. It's kind of like Felice Herrig. Just, I mean, come on, move on. Moving on. There's a lot of other fighters that deserve to be ranked. Just because you can show off your butt a little and dance a little bit, and shit, doesn't mean that you should be a ranked fighter.
This is true. That is reasonable. Especially when Julia Vila is not ranked yet, is she?
Right.
Which is a travesty in comparison. And even, I mean, I don't know. It's ranking talk. But yeah, as for this fight, the thing, I mentioned it when this was made too. The thing about Betch is we go in with such low expectations, and that's fair. It's fair that we expect her to get beat pretty easily, but then she always does better than we expect her to. Like it makes it a little bit closer. So I'm trying to think with that mindset now rather than going in the same as usual and being like, Panty's gonna wipe the floor with her because hey, if Irene Aldana couldn't, I'm just gonna remember that if she couldn't wipe the floor with her, then okay, she still has a little bit left to show. Maybe she won't win, but she'll make it more competitive than we think it will be. And I think that that will be the case again. Um, but I still think Panty's going to have a little step forward. She's looked great against Jessie Jess in that
Yeah.
last fight, that rematch. Should be able to carry that over. Has been staying busy. Um, yeah, I don't think this will be a fight that goes to the ground. Really, I mean, we might see some cage work, some clinch work up against the cage, but neither of them really like to. They don't generally feel the need to go to the ground too much. If anybody will do it, I would say probably Betch.
Yeah.
But I mean, she's pretty content on the feet as well. Just I think Panty's gonna have a speed advantage, slight speed advantage. Just slightly better technique, but it's like Bet, she finds a rhythm kind of as the fight goes on. Like she drops the first round a lot, and I think that's why she probably hangs in there and is more competitive than I always think that she will be. Is because she looks so bad to start, really slow starter, and then just she takes so many shots early on, and then uses it to like power up as the fight goes on.
It's honestly really annoying. Like she gets pieced up. It looks like she's gonna fucking ball up at any second,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden, like you said, she goes full on fucking He-Man, and she's like, "Give me the power!" and
turns it around.
and then she turns around and she fucking almost wins a fight, but very close to winning, close to losing the fight, and then very close to winning the fight. It's just so it's frustrating and annoying to watch her fight. Like she annoys the fuck out of me. Like there aren't many fighters that I'm like, oh god,
Here we
she's
go.
one of them. It's frustrating to watch her fight, and it doesn't have anything to do with like her not being a good MMA fighter, because she's a good MMA fighter. She obviously she's hung around this long in the UFC. She's good. It's just it's how it happens. It's the lead up to how the fight goes, how the fight is happening. And it happens every damn fight with her.
Like the draw with Marion Renault.
Like, dude,
Held
Marion
on,
Renault
like I
should have won
said.
that fight.
That was
She's better
ridiculous.
than her.
That's the thing, man. She just has that ability to make fighters that are better than her look like they're not that much better than her.
That's what I'm saying. She's so frustrating. Like,
It's quite a unique ability. Not many that can do that. Not that I can think of off the top of my head anyway. She's definitely the one who has that strongest case. But I mean, now watch. Having said that, right? Looking at Renault and Aldana, for example, then Panty, obviously. Panty's, fine and still on the come up and everything, but she's a notch below those fighters. She's not in that top 10 yet, could be. So maybe with all that in mind, Betch will not live up to, to this level. And so Panty's going to go out there and steamroll her because she's not way significantly better on paper. Like it's going to be something weird like that. She's going to get a 30-second knockout.
it's just wild. It's just wild what happens in her fights.
Always weird shit. Even I didn't even how did I not think of the fucking Holly fight? One of the most boring, worst fights of all time.
Yeah.
Holly, who obviously an awful stylistic matchup with her, still got the knockout in the third round and everything, but it took until they were kind of forced to engage each other. Like Betch made she wasn't winning rounds or anything. It was pretty much 10-10, 20-20 going into the third round. It was that awful. But I mean, like, that should have been a first round knockout for Holly.
I mean, she lost, or she beat freaking Jessica I.
Yes, I do remember that. And didn't she? No, she didn't beat Raquel, but she.
No, that was
it was a split. It was very close. It was very close, though.
That was a split decision.
It was very close, and some people believe that she should have won. So
Ronda put her on her ass, though.
Yeah, that's the only time. I mean,
rather
God, you
quickly.
even look back to like the Julie Kedzie fight, which I think that was her debut. I think that was Betch's debut. That's just a reoccurring theme. So with all that in mind now, I'm gonna go against the grain and be ridiculous. I'm gonna say that Panny is gonna get a first round knockout. I'm going with that. Looking at the trend of things, I'm saying it. I'm going for it.
That's honestly what I'm hoping for. Just I want
Get
to,
it out of the way.
yeah, it's just stop with the bullshit and fucking put her on her ass. That's what I'm. That's what I want. I want to see Penny just fucking put her on her ass and knock her out cold. Do I think that's gonna happen? Fucking probably not. But I mean, like you, just gonna go with it and hope that Penny fucking gets the knockout at some point in the fight. One
Put
round,
that energy out
second
there.
round, or third round. I don't care when it happens. Just please fucking knock her out.
I think it should be decently entertaining though, as long as it lasts.
I mean,
So,
honestly, are her like you said, her fights are pretty entertaining. Like
for some reason, yeah.
it's just frustrating to watch her fight. Like it's frustrating.
It's mostly frustrating because of like what we said, how the opponents should beat her a lot easier. And you're like, why? Why is she able to do this to them? You know?
And then
It's that Betch effect.
when she wins, she dances and shit. Like, dude,
Like she won like super
yeah,
convincingly.
yeah. Like you didn't just fucking knock out Ronda Rousey right now. You didn't just finish fucking Amanda Nunes. You know, Cyborg. Just stop with the bullshit. And you don't deserve to be ranked. God damn it.
This is turned into the Attack Betch hour, and I did not expect it.
Well, I mean, you've known me long enough. You should know.
I know.
You should know what triggers me a little bit by now.
Yeah. It all started with the rankings, but we can transition to some more happiness, hopefully.
Happiness. Yay. Carla Esparza returns against Marina Rodriguez. This is on the main card right before freaking Alexander Gustafsson returns. Carla Esparza. That's my girl. That's my girl. She's got to get it done, y'all.
I'm not surprised with the position. I'm happy. I'm happy that it is where it is because I think that's where it should be. Actually, because this is a really important fight for the strawweights, like we've been saying in the lead up to it. In the previous weeks, very big fight. Carla is on a sneaky, quiet winning streak that nobody's talking about.
On a
Is
tear,
it 3,
dude.
2, 3 now? She's getting back in there.
Yep.
And then Marina, obviously, still undefeated, has had the draw, so not like the full momentum of being undefeated with the 12-0 there. But hey, still no losses. That's always good. And yeah, this is very cut and dry. I think everybody can agree on it. Striker versus grappler. It's going to come down to if Marina can defend the takedowns, which she's shown to be able to for certain spurts of time against opponents. But then, she eventually gets taken down, which has led to the draws because she wins the first 2 rounds, or what I guess against Randa it was. She lost the first round, 10-8, and then continued to dominate in the next coming rounds on the feet. I don't see why this should be too much different. I mean, Carla stands little to no chance on the feet against her. I don't want to go that far. Her striking has actually improved a lot since she
She's gotten a lot better.
got put in her place against Joanna, which was years ago. So it's not fair to look at that. But there was that patch after there where she was just, her striking appeared to go away completely, whether out of fear or whatever. But here we are now. Has improved. She's more comfortable with it. The Karate Hottie fight the last time out was mostly on the feet from what I remember. I mean, more so than on the ground.
Yeah.
Which was probably a wise choice just because Waterson has pretty good submissions off her back. I mean, so Carla fought very smart in that one. But she's got to play into her strengths here, go with that wrestling heavy game plan. Marina has to defend it, and it's just pretty much that. I mean, right? It's if she can get the takedown. If she gets the takedown, she'll either win or this will be another draw. And then if Marina can avoid the takedown, she's gonna win, whether by knockout or a domination over
Yeah,
the course of 3 rounds.
yeah. I don't see Marina knocking Carla out. Um, at least I hope that doesn't happen, because then I'll be shook watching Gustafsson.
Shooketh.
And then you know what's wild is, so my favorite female fighter ever is Carla Esparza. My favorite male fighter ever, Shogun Rua. If they both lose, y'all might not fucking hear from me for a month.
I'll be going solo for 4 weeks.
Like, literally might go fucking silent, radio silent, radio silent.
I think you'll be safe with the co-main event. I'm much more confident in that.
Just saying, just putting it out there right now. If both Carla Esparza and Mauricio Shogun Rua lose, I'm gonna be devastated. I might have to fucking go to the hospital. Check myself into mental health care.
Oh man, yeah, it's quite a card for you, buddy, and it's just a good card overall. But
Super excited for Fatty Gustafsson too.
dude, Gustafsson, he's one of my all-time favorite fighters as well.
Yeah,
At
he's a
light
beast.
heavyweight, he might be my all-time favorite when I really think about it. When
I
he
don't know
wasn't
if
light
you,
heavyweight.
I don't know if you and I have ever talked about it. Did you think that he beat John Jones?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah,
first
yeah.
three, and even, I mean, upon rewatches and all that, the fourth round he was winning up until that elbow, but there was so
Hmm.
much damage done at those last minute and 30 seconds. But I've
Right.
always had him with the first three. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Same. I had.
the DC
I had
fight I thought was a draw though. I thought that's a legit draw, man. If you look at that one,
yeah.
round four I think was just so close. I 10-10 that one, but there was I think there was a 10-8 in the third when he knocked down DC, and then it's like the rest of the rounds are DC. That's such a great fight. I might like that fight more than the first Jones fight. People don't talk about the DC fight nearly as much as they should. That was a great fight.
Well,
Forget
they don't
in
talk
terms of
about the John
Gustafsson.
Jones fight because he won that fight. First of all, he won that fight, and that fight was phenomenal with John Jones. He took John Jones where up to that point he had never been taken before.
And he took him down.
Yeah, he did.
Got takedowns on him.
Yeah, so incredibly hard to do that to John Jones, but he did it.
Yeah. So excited for more Gustafsson. But
Oh,
as for this fight, though,
okay. So I have Carla Esparza winning. It's just, I don't know if it's my heart, my head, the combination of the two. It's probably more my heart than it is my brain. I think that she'll use her wrestling. That's her base. She'll use her wrestling. She'll grind. Carla's a little grinder, man. Love it. I love the way she fights. She's a little grinder, man.
I mean,
Makes me happy.
I honestly, I won't be surprised if either one of them, whoever wins this fight, just because of how they match up with each other and stylistically, I can see either of them employing their games. It just comes down to whoever. It just comes down to if Carla can get that takedown. I mean, and the thing is, though, why I got to go with Marina here is because I think that she knows that's the one thing that she has to avoid. That's the only thing she has to avoid is getting taken down. That's what she needs to do, and then who's more likely to finish the other? That's Marina. I don't think that if Carla gets her down and is able to do that consistently, she's got to be able to keep her there for 15 minutes. I don't think that. I mean, we've seen her submit people before, but she doesn't really do it too much anymore. And Marina, it's again just that knowing what she needs to avoid kind of thing. So if anybody's going to get the finish, I think it would be Marina, and she just has the time goes in her favor that way because she has to avoid the takedown. I'll go decision. I don't think a finish will happen, but yeah, Marina decision. Should we put some kind of bet on this? Some kind of whoever wins
I would put a
something.
bet. I'd put a bet down on it. I mean,
I don't know. We'd have to think of something though.
yeah,
No,
whatever.
I don't. It's too
I'm,
close. I'm
I'm,
not. I'm not confident enough. If
I'm
there's
pretty.
one, if there's one we're pretty split on and very firm on, then we'll put a bet on. We have to think about what the punishment will be for the other person though. Moni, do you have any suggestions? Anybody who watches, give us suggestions for potential bets in the future.
Maybe, maybe if Zhang Weili and Rose Namajunas fight, maybe that would split us because I'm assuming that you would go Zhang Weili while I would go Rose Namajunas.
Yeah, yeah, or maybe Yan Jianan versus somebody. If it was Yan versus, no, I don't know, because I want to feel like totally confident in it. Like oh, I can't see that other person winning. Like obviously, I think Rose has a chance to beat
Yeah,
Whaley, but
yeah.
I would pick Whaley at the moment. But still, we'll figure it out. Either way, split on this one. We both got Panny though against Betch,
Oh,
but
maybe
who
Amanda
knows?
Nunes and Valentina Shevchenko if they ever fight.
I think Nunes wins it easier, honestly.
I'd be
Easier
willing.
than
I'd be willing to take Shevchenko
okay.
just because.
Okay, if we get Megan versus Amanda, I'll put some on Megan.
Megan versus Amanda Nunes.
Yeah,
You would take Megan?
for the sake of the bet.
Okay. I mean,
I've always planned once Megan gets a title shot, I'm gonna bet on it because just for good luck.
wow. I'm sure Moni's absolutely loving you taking an Aussie right now.
Hey man, Cyborg dodged a bullet.
It's cute.
I mean, I guess not because she still ran into Nunes, but
Yeah, yeah. I don't know
never
if she
mind.
dodged a bullet really.
An Australian bullet ran into a Brazil one. But that's UFC Fight Island 3. Bum,
Yeah,
bum,
buddy,
bum, bum,
cannot
bum,
wait. See,
bum.
even Moni's like, "Oh my God, Megan, really?"
Yas. I got a yas.
No, that means like, really, really, Drake, really. So I had a question. I had a question come in earlier this morning.
Missed
So I don't know whether to pronounce Buddy like Bisbing or Terrence and Phillip. So Buddy is like Bisbing. Buddy.
I can't,
How
off
else
the
would
top
you?
of my head, I can't think of how did Terrence and Phillips say it. I
I
can't
don't
think
know.
of it right
I have
now.
no idea. But obviously it's Bisbing, right?
Yeah. Buddy.
Yeah,
That's how
buddy.
he says it. Yeah.
Come on, Rob. Come on.
That wasn't even really a question. I saw that.
But I told him that I would answer it.
Yeah, I saw that. Oh, come on, Moni. I've always been your dude, haven't I?
Ridiculous. Ridiculous.
It's all in good fun. It's all in good fun.
We
at
didn't even
WMMA
talk
Today.
about we didn't even talk about the main event. Whitaker and Till. Like, dude, amazing. Amaze balls.
Maze balls. Yeah, man. I don't know what's gonna happen in that one, but I can't. I've always ever since Whitaker became champion, ever since the Jacare fight, I haven't been able to go against him. So I mean, even after losing to Adesanya, it's like, man, okay, if he was matched up with him again, I would probably feel different, but it's so hard for me to go against Whitaker.
Moni said I'm stressed. Dude,
Yeah,
you have
this
no
is
idea how stressed I am about this fucking card. Like I said, Carla loses, Shogun loses. Fucking y'all might not hear from me for a long time. Gonna have an EMT in my house just to
on
fucking
the ready.
check
the
on my
ready.
stress levels.
God damn. All right, let's send it home. Let's send it on home.
All right, so until next week, we'll talk to you guys next week. Enjoy this fucking amazing UFC card, and then
I have
don't
shameless
forget,
plugs, Steven. I got shameless plugs this week.
don't forget about Bellator this weekend on Friday, and then LFA on Friday. TKO on Thursday.
Yeah.
We got
I
fights coming up.
keep feeling like Bellator's next week. I was like, oh
No,
shit, but there's no women's fights on it. So I was like, did I miss something?
I think there's only five fights altogether on that card or something like
Oh,
that.
really? And we lost
Yeah.
Maori today.
Ooh.
But he got a replacement, I think. So,
Oh, okay.
but anyway, yes, of course, follow us, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I just dropped that piece in response to Dave's question from episode, was it 4 or 5, asking on average if female and male and UFC fighters get paid, the same on average. And, I won't spoil it for you. Just go check it out on my MA News. Good research piece. And then I have an interview I did with Jessica Aguilar coming out. Very, very amazing stuff there.
Nice.
Awesome getting to talk to her. That will be also coming soon, potentially this week. If not, then next week. And my big special secret project is also getting closer to coming out. So look forward to that stuff. Cannot wait. Cannot wait. So,
Awesome.
yeah. And then follow us at Drake Riggs _ for me, and then he's at Steve K _ MMA. Follow the scrap news on Twitter. Yeah, all that stuff. It's all good times.
Have a great weekend, y'all. Till next Tuesday.
Peace.